Welcome back to the 100 spin test. In today's episode, number 74, we continue our dive into the murky waters of roulette strategies, where promises of guaranteed wins often disappear faster than munchies in an Amsterdam coffee shop. Ever wondered if these so-called foolproof strategies can withstand the chaos of real-world distractions and cognitive biases? Well, you're in the right place. Let's see what happens. Today's test, Cruisin from the November 16, 2023 episode of the Roulette Master as submitted by viewer Edwin from the Netherlands. Isn't that weird? I prefer the European wheel, and since the submitter lives in Europe, I'll assume it's his preference too, so the European wheel it is. There are 22 winning numbers out of a possible 37, so there is a 60% likelihood of winning on each spin. The presence of the zero allows the casino to gold member 2.6% of each bet in aggregate, so our expected loss is 104 units. To simplify things for analysis and scaling, I've kept the unit size at 1 simoleon. Place 5 units each on the first and third columns and 5 units each on the 4 to 9, 10 to 15, 22 to 27, and 28 to 33. Place 1 unit each on the 11 to 14, 14 to 17, 17 to 20, 20 to 23, and 23 to 26 splits. Finally put 1 unit straight up on 0, 14, 17, 20 and 23. At 40 units, it's a big bet, but the real payoffs are the 4 numbers in the second dozen and second column. On its face, this looks like a wallet drainer, but let's wait for the data before making an assessment. You will win 62 units if the ball lands on 14 or 23 and win 32 if it lands on 17 or 20. If it lands on 11 or 26, you'll win 8 units and 5 if the ball lands in 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 22, 24, 25, 27, 28, 30, 31, or 33. A zero will net you a 4-unit loss. You lose 10 units if the ball finds 5, 8, 29, or 35. 25 units vanish if the ball lands on 1, 3, 16, 18, 19, 21, 34, or 35. Finally, you get a 40-unit Boterham if the ball lands in 2 or 35. As always, the animated graph below shows the progress of the strategy as misplayed and gives an idea of how volatile the bet is. There is also a table below showing the payouts and losses for this bet. A link to Jack Ace's bet analyzer that contains much more information for this bet can be found in the description.
Now let's speed things up and watch the progress. I'll be back at the end to summarize.
I'm disappointed by the outcome of this test. It was defying gravity for a long time, but the house edge took a chunk out of this oversized bet. I still wanted it to come out a winner. Anyhow, I ran the routine statistical tests on the results. The average number of spins before we got a hit was 1.7 with a standard deviation of 1.1. That means it should have taken 4 spins to get a hit 65% of the time and 5 spins to get a hit 95% of the time. It makes sense. Our longest losing streak was 5. We had 1 repeater. 9 repeated once. The hot numbers were 9 with 7 hits, and 1 and 14 with 6 hits each. The cold numbers were 17, 22, 24, and 29 with no hits each. We had 1 streak of 8 wins in a row, 1 streak of 7, 1 of 5, 4 of 4, 2 of 3 and 2 streaks of 2 consecutive wins. Also, we had 1 streak of 5 losses in a row, 1 streak of 4, 2 of 3 and 8 streaks of 2 consecutive losses. We were in profit for 80% of the test. Let's look at our rankings. We find Cruisin at 73rd out of 91 on raw winnings or losses, and 57th on percent increased or decreased. Keep in mind that casinos don't exist to make you rich. In fact, they exist to drain from your wallet whatever you allow them to take. Never take gambling advice at face value. Test any strategy that you plan to play on a free online game and read as many critiques about the strategy that you can find. A creator who won't tolerate questions or criticism is a bright red flag, and you aren't a hater for being cynical or by simply questioning their methodology. Some strategies only work for a limited time and the remainder don't work at all. Adjust your risk and loss tolerance accordingly and be cautious with regard to the advice that you accept.
Good luck until the next time.